G'day boys and girls, Dougville here. Welcome to a Zerg versus Protoss matchup that we've got. This is taken from the Saturday Showdown, I believe, which was a couple of weeks ago. I have had this one, but unfortunately it's been sitting around for a little while. Unfortunately I had, of course, this last week here in Melbourne has been basically a heat wave. I was effectively the roast duck, but this one was handed over to me because it was a little bit of an interesting PvZ battle between these two players. Down at the bottom left hand side, our player here from Team Red Vipers, it is Demilov. Let me just remove the clan thing there so you can see properly. There you go, Demilov from Red Vipers. An Indian Zerg player here, competing, of course, in a lot of the C tournaments. Gets to play against a lot of our excellent, really quality, high quality C players that we have here. But this time at the Saturday Showdown, competing against a Protoss player up at the top right hand side in the orange here. It is Scarecrow, but I'm sure a few of you will know that this is Huck from Evil Geniuses, and we'll see what Huck has in store here today. Gonna be they were just talking about their previous game that they had, because as I mentioned, this was part of a tournament that took place around about a week and a half ago. So that's why it's obviously, well, that's why we've got different colors. We've got the green and the orange. You can't have that on ladder. But also these guys just having a quick little chat about what was going on. It'll be interesting to see how Demilov goes here. Of course, Huck is still a high quality player, has been around for a very long time, since, you know, the very old days of StarCraft 2, and as you can see, going to be going with a gateway expansion first up. Looks like we'll just have that single gas for the moment. Now, it's rather intriguing actually the way the buildings are positioned. It's not always that you see a Protoss player just sort of slapping them down, just sort of willy-nilly around here, but I mean, it's not a huge sort of thing to worry about, but I mean, it's just interesting given that he has not put the gateway next to the pylon or anything like that, because you want to try and limit the surface area on pylons for lings to come in and hit if your opponent goes for early lings. But of course, that's not what we're going to have to deal with here. So the cyber goes down. We've got no second gas, of course, from Huck here. So it looks as if he is just going to play out with that single gas for now. All nice and standard here. Demilov picking up his own gas right now so that he can get some speed started. You do need to get that Zergling speed started as soon as you can, just to make sure you can deflect any early aggression from the Protoss player. But this first Overlord is going to come through. Got to be very careful with this one here. You know, you move forwards, you don't drone scout, so you sort of having a little bit of a guess as to what the Protoss is up to. But when you don't drone scout, you have to be careful with this first Overlord. But Demilov is going to see that there is a Nexus going down, and of course with no wall at the front, that means that we do have that gateway inside the main as the most likely option. There are still, extremely rarely, but there are still a couple of Protoss players who will throw a Forge down in the main and then still go for what is basically a Forge Fast expansion, very similarly to what Parting used to do way back in the day of Wings of Liberty. But it is just going to be a normal expansion here. One thing that we're going to keep an eye on is the fact that Huck has a lot of Chrono Boost saved up. So I'm not exactly sure what the plan is here. Normally you would have seen that already being dumped into the Cyber Core if he was going to go for some 4-gate aggression or something like that. But okay, there you go. He's gonna Chrono Boost that out right now. So we may see a little bit of aggression coming out from Huck. There you go. 1, 2, 3 go the gateway. So we're taking it to a total of 4. Demilov's going to see this, and he's going to have to react appropriately. Of course, a Zerg player, when you see those 4 gates up in total, if you've been around since Wings of Liberty, you'll get, you know, Vietnam kind of flashbacks of early days of Wings of Liberty when it was a 4-gate every game. And Demilov's going to have to react appropriately, which will mean we will have to try and get a lot of lings out. We've already got ling speed just about to finish up. A Roach Warrant certainly would not go astray, but that does mean you need to drop some drones into gas as well. But Huck now pushing forwards. He's got the Mothership Core here. A couple of units have also come up to the side. This Stalker way out of position gets caught out. If Huck can keep that alive, that'll be extremely surprising. Yeah, he loses the Stalker, which is a little bit unfortunate. But there was no early Zealot that came along either. So Demilov now going to dive on top of the Zealots that are warping in. The 4 gates have all flowered open back at home. The Lings are going to take out, it looks as if they will kill off the Zealots here, but losing quite a lot of those Lings in the process. Of course, the Mothership Core will always reign supreme up in the air, but I mean, taking out a few of those Zealots are rather interesting A little bit of a dive there from Demilov. I'm actually a little bit surprised. I'm not sure how I feel, if that was like the best solution, or perhaps it would have been better just to wait a little bit. But now, as we can see, with the hatchery attempting to go up, there will be no third base here for Demilov for the moment. This hatchery will likely need to be cancelled. Drone attempts to escape, but does not get too far. But now, there you go. The Lynx swarming all over the pylon. Rather... just a little bit sloppy there from Huck not to leave a couple of the zealots there, or perhaps at least wait until another warp-in was available to move out and just maybe keep the mothership core there. But that means that Huck is going to have to head back home because we had no secondary pylon being created or anything like that. Demilov just scouting through, trying to find if there's any tech, but of course when you go for a 4-gate, you dump a lot of zealots into that and you be very aggressive with it. You do slow down a bit when it comes to tech. So Huck's going to put a forge down. We'll probably get the +1 weapon started rather quickly. We would like to see the particular tech route that Huck wants to go for as well. Like, normally at this point you would see a robo going down as well. I would assume that's next on the list for our Protoss player from EG. This Overlord just scouting through. We've got a bunch of sentries here. It's a total of 6, which is quite a lot, and that will be able to help him with keeping this base force fielded for the moment. May even look at heading down towards the third base as well, but Demilov has... a fair amount of lings, and we've also got roaches coming out. So, at this point, I think starting to look towards maybe beefing up the economy right now for Demilov, and there you go, we are going to get the robo, but we've also got 5 drones coming out. 7 roaches are going to be added to the field, perhaps fearing a secondary attack from those gates is Demilov. But now with the probe just coming across to the third base, gets taken out by one of the lings here. This what is... okay, we got the mothership core here, so we're just going for a very, very... this is going to have to be a very careful attack coming out of Huck here, because if he doesn't properly force field and then utilize the mothership core recall as well, then there could be a lot of trouble, because there is no support. There's no other pylon here to help with, you know, reinforcing or anything. So it's just a little bit of a poke there, perhaps looking to see if there was a way to get into that third base, then perhaps just force field that off to take down the third and recall back out. But, of course, there was the those extra roaches that were made by Demilov. The spine crawler was there as well. And now Huck's just going to have to sort of play it out a little bit longer, heading up back at... he's heading back up to the third base now as well. Gets the Nexus down. We're going to throw a pylon there as well. Demilov darting inside. We're going to look to try and get a cancel on this Nexus here. If he can focus those lings on the Nexus, that would be wonderful there. There we go. Gets some targeting on it. Looks like he is going to get a cancel. Perhaps a couple of force fields from Huck. Saves the day. Oh, I kind of feel like maybe that could have worked out for Demilov, but unfortunately... Huck got in just at the right time, threw down a couple of force fields, but this has bought some time for Demilov to sort of re-establish the economy, get everything back to where you normally would be. We just saw 15 drones on the production tab. We've now got gases 5 and 6 on the way. Total of 70 drones are now out for our Zerg players, so putting Demilov in a wonderful position right now. This is where you always want to head up to be in this spot, where you've got your roaches, they're getting their upgrades, they've got the roach speed coming out, we've got +1 to missile weapons, no second Evo just yet, but there will be a macro hatch along with a 4th hatchery down at the sort of the right hand side of the main there. So Demilov just sort of re-establishing everything, putting it all back together where it should be after a small 4-gate rush that was a little bit unsuccessful there from Huck. But now Huck is beefing up his army, adding in some Immortals. We're going to have Colossi coming out very soon as well. There are going to be a total of 3 Immortals out on the map, which is going to be a nice total. Blink is also being researched right now with the 3rd gate up and running. We've got a cannon being flanked by these gateways here, just offering a little bit of protection there for the cannon, so that the cannon protects the mineral line and the Nexus and keeps everything all up and running in case any lings decide to run by. But Demilov, with no real option of doing something like that at the moment, is just getting prepared for mid-game now as we start to see Hydras coming out. Their groove spines are on the way, just about to finish up. We've got +1 to carapace also being researched. One thing we do want to see here from Demilov is a little bit more creep spread. Perhaps his queen could jump about, lay another couple of creep tumors here to sort of just start pushing this out. Like, obviously right at the start we had a little bit of a difficult time just sort of getting the creep started because we had to deal with that early aggression. But there you go, laying down another one. You can possibly slap down another couple of tumors there as well. There you go, heading across. It's like Demilov is listening to me right now. But 4th base now up and running. We'll see how this affects Huck moving forwards. I keep saying Puck because, like, I was just watching Puck's stream Anyway, but the fourth base, he is aware of that fourth there. We've now got Blink just about to finish up. Extended them a lance, halfway done for those Colossi. The first Colossus is just about to pop up as well. And once that comes out, that's really going to give Huck a lot of extra firepower here in his army. And of course, you know, once you start to get more and more of the Colossi, then they start to really have a big effect when dealing with a Zerg player. But as you can see, Muscular Augment's not in effect just yet, but the Infestation Pit is on the way, allowing the Hive tech very soon. Demilov looking to move out right now. I'm not too sure how this will go. It sort of depends how they decide to engage, but there we go. Coming out from behind the gases is Demilov. Lots of roaches at the front tanking for the Hydras. A couple of wonderful time warps going down there from Huck. Really nicely done. A couple of force fields will block out some of the units, but there is still only one Colossus here, so he's got to be very careful with his positioning, and Demilov just sort of smashing through the sides there. One Colossus coming across from the Robo and does get out there, lays down a lot of fire, but unfortunately does go down. Huck losing both of his Colossi right now, and this is going to put him in a very tough spot as the rest of the units now push forwards. I think Demilov may want to be a little bit more careful here. You know, you've secured a lot of kills there. Perhaps it would be a good idea just to sort of leave this for the moment. The Mothership Core dropping out another time warp and trying to slow down those units. And I think, yeah, we've got some resupply coming. Maybe just fall back for a second here with these units. You want to, you want to be efficient with your Hydras, especially because they do so much firepower. But Huck gonna constantly blink back there. The Hydras are going to try and deal with that as much as they can. This does expose the third base a little bit, and Demilov is going to head straight up there. Wants to take out the third. Not sure about engaging up the ramp there, but Huck is going to have a difficult time. He's got a very low surface area there to try and attack into all of these units, and Demilov is going to try and push forwards, forcing the Stalkers to blink backwards. We've got probes now coming out for defense, Elfie style here from Huck, but the Roaches are going to absolutely annihilate everything that is here. I think eventually, with some good control, Huck may be able to save this, but he has already taken a huge amount of damage. 23 workers have been killed off. We've lost the Robo, we've lost one of the gates. The Nexus is also available here, and while a Colossus has come out, I think that this is going to be very devastating here for Huck. He's going to need to somehow piece an army back together, as Demilov is just pushing hard in here. The +1/1 upgrades are all done, +2 to weapons on the way, 11 Hydras being built up by our Zerg player, and Demilov is just going to retreat, doesn't want to try and push the issue, trying to go up that very small ramp there that can be abused with force fields. Not to mention the third base is still here. I'm very surprised that that has not been touched at all. I mean, that's still open, and I think that's open for business right now. I'm a little bit surprised Demilov doesn't want to push in there, but just dealing with a few macro things back at home. We've got Vipers on the way, a bunch of Lings are also coming through. As we mentioned before, the +2 on missile weapons are also being researched right now. Creep is starting to push out a little bit further, so just sort of heading back, a little bit of the old Artosis knowledge bomb being utilized here by Demilov. When you're ahead, get more ahead. And I mean, he's up at 194 supply right now to Huck's 112, but I mean, you know, you can't really count out Huck in this situation. We've now got double Colossus production because he wasn't really able to put full production out there. Clearing out a little bit of the creep, of course. Keep in mind these guys do have blinks, so they can, if they get into a little bit of danger, they can fall back and sort of get out of harm's way. There you go, just blinking back and says, all right, that's cool. That's enough damage for me. I've cleared out some of the creep, but Huck is certainly going to need to sort of piece his army back together right now with double Robo cranking out those Colossi. He certainly can get things back in together and sort of maybe put together a large Deathball army that you do commonly see Protoss players heading towards, but the Stalkers are looking to maybe get some damage done down here at the 4th base. You will find out that there are some more drones across here at the 5th base, just down at the 6 o'clock position. The Stalkers coming forwards, they will take out one of the Queens, taking out a few of the drones as well. Demilov looking for the surround. He's going to come across here and then just get the big surround going, but of course it's difficult to surround the Blink Stalkers. They're extremely mobile, and Demilov is, yeah, I would probably look to force the issue here. Just head up towards the 3rd base, try and force Huck to come back to try and engage this. But the problem is that once you head up this ramp, you could be in a lot of trouble. Force fields will lock out some of the units. We'd like to see, yeah, a couple of time warp going up. abductions from the Vipers, pulling in the Colossi there. And, I mean, Huck loses a couple of his Colossi extremely quickly. We've still got a couple of hallucinations and one real one at the back, but the Stalkers down on the bottom have been able to get back here to try and support the rest of these units. If Huck could target down those Vipers, that would be wonderful for him, but he is forced to pull some of his units back because the Hydras and the Roaches are just doing so much damage. And Huck, well, again, he sort of holds firm for the moment, still has double colo production and +3 to weapons just about to finish up, but I mean, he's just got to hold out and try and keep everything together. What we, you know, if he can try and snipe down some of the, wow, that's those two Vipers I was alluding to before, taken out now by Huck. And he does have the double Colossus, going to be very careful. A few more force fields would be nice here, but unfortunately does not have too many sentries available. The Colossus at the back, Roaches and Hydras pushing forwards, trying to target down those Colossi, but they're just getting pulverized by the Roach Hydra force. And, well, it looks as if Demilov is again going to try and just bulldog his way up the ramp here, almost getting one of these Colossi here. It's very, very low. A third one will pop out. If Huck can keep these alive, that would be wonderful, but losing one, may lose a second. If he loses all three, then he is in a lot of trouble as the Zerg units are still continually flooding inside. Lots of links here. The third Colossus does go down, and he is in all sorts of trouble. GG. Huck goes down here against Demilov from Red Vipers. Make sure you do go and say hello to both of these folks over on Twitter. I'll catch you all next time. Here. As you can see, 47 damage to bio units and then the 34 damage against other standard targets. His storms have also been wonderful, just spreading them out across the battlefield, doing really, really nicely there. And for Minigun, he's been sticking with a much more